C language has a inbuilt operators. Operators basically perform the operations on operands. We know that, right? Operators, which we use for actually manipulating the data and then variable content, right? So that is what I think today's topic. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining. Welcome to Maths Bridge. We shall continue our C programming learning. Okay, we are actually part of a slogan called a train and learn. We train, you will get an opportunity to learn. Okay, without further delay, let's get started. Folks, please do visit us at our YouTube channel Maths Bridge. I'm sure I think you are already subscribed to the channel. If you have not, please do subscribe the channel and then support us. Thank you and then happy learning. Here is our today's agenda. C also supports special operators like a comma operator, size operator, a pointer operator, and then member selection operator. Okay, these are the operators. You may see them in upcoming sessions, but for quick review, how comma operator works. So you can see now A assigned to 10, B assigned to 15, and then compute A plus B, and then this value returns. In single statement, you can do this way. So it evaluates from the left to right. First it assigns 10 to A. Next it takes this, this one. It assigns 15 to B. Once these two are done, then goes to the third place. It computes the value of A and A plus B. The return of A plus B is what is going to be assigned to the value. The value which we written is now is 25 because 10 plus 15 is 25. Do you see? So in a single statement, I can get it. Otherwise, this becomes like what? A equal to 10, B is equal to 15, and then value equal to A plus B. That is how I have to write. Agree? One more special operator that we are going to discuss here is like a sizeof. What sizeof will do? Sizeof is actually returns how many bytes for that data type that the C allocates memory for us. So char means like a 1 byte, short means like a 2 bytes, things like that. If you can have this worked out problem, if you can compile the code and run it on your IDE, then this is how the output you could see. Okay, currently in my system, this is what the the dev C++ generated output for the C compiler, right? But using sizeof operator, you could also try out. So you may get like similar answer if the same platform. Otherwise, you may see a different answer. Depends upon what compiler that you're using. One more is special operator called a pointer operator. We would like to walk through detailed understanding of pointers in C, which is very important topic. But for now, just to understand like what are the special operators that are exist in C, this is one of them. To illustrate the concept, if you could see my the sample program which I captured as a screenshot here. So think about you have a integer value here called num, int num, assigned with 156 as a number. Okay, in line number 7, what I would be I am doing here is address of the num, right? This is called a address operator. Okay, when I see as a prefix to the variable, that means like I'm referring as an address rather than value. So int star ptr is like a pointer which pointing to num memory location. That's what it means. Okay, so let's see like how it operates. If I would actually try to print the value of a num, what you would actually expect to see 156, because that's a value the num is holding, right? So that's true. And ptr means like an address, right? Ptr is basically referring address of num, so this is basically address is what you are going to display. Star ptr basically dereferencing to a pointer, so ptr is holding address of the num. Star means you are referring the value in that address, which is nothing but 156, right? That is what it is. If I could compile this code and run it, this is what the output that you can see it, 156, and then the address, a star ptr also pointing to num, and hence 156. To demonstrate one step above what I was doing in line number 13, using star ptr, I'm assigning a value 200. So is it like a 200 will be stored in ptr? Definitely no, because ptr is actually pointing to num. So indirectly using this star ptr, you are modifying the value of num. So now num is becomes 200. So if I try print the value of num in line number 14, this is what I get, 100, 200 instead of 156. This is a beautiful concept, pointers. So we will see like more illustrations to capture the concept. So for now, this is how pointer operators, also called as special operators in C. One more special operator is known as a member section operator. So let me explain through an example. Uh, though we have not gone through a detailed understanding of what is meant by struct and all, for instance, this is one of the user defined data type, a struct name called my struct, within which I declared two variables, num and character, okay, of type int and char. This is kind of a template, so but a kind of a different data type, you can say that way. Now you are creating a variable of that data type. So struct my struct variable name is s1. So s1 is a struct variable of name my struct. So anytime that you are trying to access the members of this struct, you would actually use dot s1 dot inum s1 dot cvar. This is how I think I could initialize struct members. So when I try print them, I still use s1 dot inum s1 dot cvar. So this is how I can actually access the members of the struct. So that's why these are member section operators. If I could compile this code and run it, then this is what I would see, because I initialize it 10 and b to inum and v char, so I would see the same output. I hope this is helps. Let's have a quick demo. Look at my screen now. So there is a sample program which demonstrates how comma operator works. Okay, here I have three variables, and then in line number 9 I have a magic, right? So this the statement basically, if you look at, I think it is separated by commas. A equal to 20, and then b equal to 15, and a plus b. These expressions are evaluated from left to right. First it executes a equal to 20, then b equal to 15, then a plus b, then a plus b value is returns to value as an assignment. If I would print value in line number 10, what I would expect is like 20 plus 15 is 35 is what I get it. Let me compile this code and run it. Do you see? 35 is what I get it. So this is how a comma operator works. Okay, let me show you like one more separator, which is called as a member operator. Do you know this? You could actually see when you study the struct concept, how the structure can be created using C. But for now, let's just see that the magic of like how struct member functions can be accessed. So this is kind of a template. You can also call it as a user defined data type, is called a struct. This is a keyword called struct, but you are giving a name to that, is called my structure, within which I enclose the different data types. That's a kind of a pack usage, num and then char put together as a unit into it, right? This is called as a user defined data type, like any other data type in float. Now how do you create a struct variable? This is a syntax: struct and struct name and put some value s1, like int num, right? Similarly, struct my struct name s1. So now using this struct variable, you will be able to access the members of the struct using dot operator. So s1 dot inum, s1 dot cvar, that is where I could initialize. If I would print the value in line number 17 and 18, what I would get is whatever I initialized previously. This is called 10 and 8. Let me compile this code and run it. Do you see 10 and b, right? Integer 10 char b is what I could see it. So I am accessing through dot operator. Okay, this is the one example. See, the other one is very kind of an important, but we can actually look at more in detail when we understand the concept called pointers. But for now, for the quick demonstration, let me run this program and then see the output. Okay, now you can walk through. See, what I have is like a num of type int and assigned with like 156. This is what I can see, line number 6. So line number 7, what I would see is like int star ptr equal to ampersand num. When you see this as a prefix, which means this is like address of operator. So when I say like ampersand num means address of memory location called num is what you are pointing to by this variable is called star pointer. So star pointer is basically referring the address of the num. So indirectly star ptr is pointing to num, right? So think through that way. Let me try print the value of num ptr and star ptr, what it would give you, right? So if I see line number 9, we have a num is printing. Num is means 156, which is what you can see as a first printf statement. Second one is like an address. Star ptr is basically like a kind of an address, means this is not a ptr address, this is the ptr, whatever the ptr holding, which is of ampersand num. So address of num is what ptr is holding, that's what this address. And then star ptr means like you are dereferencing this memory location. Indirectly you are pointing to value of num, right? And hence I could see 156. Let me tell you magic. Let's say for instance, like star ptr equal to 100 is what I assign it, line number 13. So what I would think now is like, okay, maybe I'm using like a different variable where I'm assigning this value, but I'm not really touching anything num. That's what I felt, let's say, but that's not the case here. So star ptr 200 means like indirectly using this pointer variable you are trying to modify content in num. How would you say? Look at line number 17. If I was trying to print value of a num, instead of 156, now I am getting like a 200. You see this one? That means like a pointer variables can manipulate the data unknowingly, right? So you have to be very careful when you're using pointers, right? Great. Similarly we can see a sizeof operator, which we have seen already, right? This basically is going to print the size of each data type, how much memory it requires to allocate by the system, right? So quick demo. I'm sure I think we have already seen it, but let me. Okay, there is a error. So the reason for doing that, so maybe I need to filter out the other programs not to run. Then I could find out, recompile, and then see the output. Do you see this one? So, yeah. This is the size of is also kind of an operator for us. So these are the special operators that the C supports. All right. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, click on bell icon and leave the comments. Happy learning. Thank you. Stay tuned to upcoming sessions.